and our human rights. We are losing the most fundamental right that you can have, to protest, because otherwise we cannot stop what this government does. And this government will do more. They will introduce harsher, tougher laws, and they will stop this with every being that they can. And they have proven that time and time again. So we need to stop this now before it is too late. And look, we have come together, and yet our opposition, our Labour Party, are doing fuck all. Fuck Keir Starmer. Fuck Keir Starmer. Fuck Boris Johnson. I would say, if anyone wants to come up and speak, please do. This is an open protest. We don't have an organiser if the police are watching. And, yes, fuck the police, fuck the Tories, tear them down!
Basically, I'm from the Hume Stand Up to Racism group. We formed 10 months ago back in June. We take the knee every Wednesday for 8 minutes 46 seconds to remember the brutal murder of George Floyd. There's lots of speeches after, and we exercise our right week in, week out, and have done for 10 months now. I'm also good friends with Karen Reisman, who's an NHS nurse. She was fined on this very spot here 2 weeks ago for opposing the disgraceful 1% pay rise for NHS staff. She was fined £10,000. Disgraceful, right? But we raised that money for her in under 3 hours. Really quick one, guys. This Saturday we're going to be here again, and I want to see double, triple the amount that's here right now. It's the UN Anti-Racist, Global Anti-Racist Day. So please be out in numbers. We're going to fight this, and we're going to be here on the streets. We're going to exercise our right, and we'll do what we've got to do. Power to the people.
It just shows what, like, the point that we've gotten to, where we actually have to be out here in fear of, you know, like, they're writing a law. But how have we gotten to this point where we're scared that our basic fucking rights to oppose the system are being taken away from us? You know, like, people say, you know, like, it starts with this. You know, when we're protesting pay rises, who breaks the police's strikes? Nobody. Who breaks the strikes of the strike breakers? Fucking nobody, and they have absolute impunity to do whatever the fuck they want. So if they come to, and if they've given the option where we're at the point that when we're protesting for basic fucking pay rises and basic fucking necessities, that we are at a stage of fucking rebellion. When does it stop? When does everything that they do just start being grounds of self-fucking defence? When they are killing us, and when they are slowly taking our money away if they're not directly killing us, by killing us economically. Thank you. Fuck trial, fuck capitalism.
I just wanted to say, over everything that's gone on in the past year or so, half of the things that happened that are bad to us, especially as students, if it wasn't for the protesting, God knows what state we'd be in right now. Especially the state that we're in with coronavirus. If it wasn't for the fact that we are protesting, that we would be shitting constantly every single day. Our education would be down the fucking crapper. It's not exactly going well right now, but it's better than what it would be if we hadn't a protest. Thankfully, with the fact that we stand loud and proud, and we're not afraid to use our voices, we're okay with protesting, and we love protesting our right to be who we are and what we want to be.
During the time when Sarah Everard was killed by a police officer and George Floyd was killed by a police officer, this bill seems to give more power to police, not less, and shouldn't we really be giving less power to police? It just makes no sense to me, and judging by the turnout, it didn't make a right lot of sense to anyone else either. Libertarians, fuck political time.
There has been a history of police violence in protest.
protesting that goes back to the 1960s, the late 1960s, in the anti-war movement, in the anti-racist movement. We have had police laws that have brutalized women, that have brutalized communities of color, black people. So if we're not going to stand together on this, and if we're not going to end this, we're going to have more of this. More police brutality on our streets, more police brutality and infiltration within activist bases, and we cannot have that. This is why we must stand strong. This is why we must stand united together to end this right now. You just mentioned George Floyd, but we have a history of killing black and brown people in this country, whether we kill them on the streets or whether we are detaining them in detention centers all across the UK or in prison. So you must stand with us. Stand for prison abolition. Stand to end detention in all shapes and forms. Lastly, we are talking about Sarah Everett. We must mention the many black and brown women who are dying. We must mention people like Sarah Reed, who died in police custody 3 years ago, or Joy Gardner in the 1980s. We must remember their names. We must say their names. We must not forget them. I see so many times that people only talk about what's happening in the United States and not link it up, to the police and state violence happening here in the UK every single day. Remember their names. Fight for them. Fight to end endemic policing everywhere we see. Women are not safer with more police. We are in danger. Just 2 days ago, The Guardian reported that a police officer was arrested for rape and sexual violence. This was in Bradford. We know police have a long history of either corruption or being complicit in misogynistic crimes and anti-racist and racist crimes as well. So we should always stand strong. We don't need more policing. We need better stuff. We need community forms of coming together. We don't need policing. Kill the bill! 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 Tory! Tory!
So this law aims to fix the protests that display current annoyance and inconvenience. But the thing that I have an issue with, instead of introducing new laws that do nothing but suppress people who probably need their voice hearing the most, can we fix some of the current ones? So I'm going to run you through some laws right now that are still standing at the minute. So racially aggravated assault, the max you can get in the UK at the minute, 7 years. Indecent assault, 10 years. Attempted sexual intercourse with a girl under 13, 7 years. And then rape, average rape sentence in the UK right now is about 8 years. So, thank you. So I recognise a few faces of people who came out the other day to the protest. So can we have a clap for anyone who came out the other day to the vigil? That collective empowerment and that amount of people that came out and everyone who shared their story was so brave, but it's the same law that comes in that you might actually get a longer sentence for sharing your voice than your actual assaulter. That is fucked. It's absolutely fucked. Yeah, the amount of people, it takes proper balls to get up and say some shit. There were some people who were crying and so many people did such a good job. Imagine you get up and you stand there and you actually end up getting arrested for longer than the person who fucking assaulted you. It's a joke. It is not the police's job to decide what we use our voices for, and that is not why people live in the UK for a democracy. And it's reasons like this that it's not going to fucking work.
Apparently we're going to be facing 10 years if we cause a nuisance. Well, I'll tell you some people who've caused nuisances. Greta Thunberg. Martin Luther King. Emily Prentice, there's a statue of her in there. Arthur Scarborough. Trade unionists. There were Stonewall rioters. Overwhelming people. Men, women, people of non-gender binary people. They're people who have stood up and fought back. This society is built on nuisance. Because without nuisance, there will be no fight against justice. Without nuisance, there will be no fight against oppression, against exploitation, against inequality. And who will determine what is a nuisance? I bet you they don't say Tommy Robinson and the EDL are going to be a nuisance, will they? Or will they be saying that the people closing hospitals, throwing people on the streets out of their homes because they can't afford the rent, will they be considered nuisance? No. But the people who protest will be. They're the ones they want to shut up. The people who say there should be no injustice. These are the people who put Martin Luther King in prison, who condemned Rosa Parks. These are the people who sent trade unionists to prison. We have to stand up and fight back, because this is the biggest assault on our right to organise in many, many years. I'm old enough, and I'm sorry to play the age card here, I'm old enough to remember back in 1994 when they introduced something called the Criminal Justice Act to make it wrong. You couldn't go and listen to repetitive beats. That's what the Tories wanted to shut down. People raving, dancing, singing, enjoying themselves. We have to say no. We want the right to protest. We want the right to dance and sing. We want that's run just for profit. We want our world that's run in the interests of everyone, but that will come out through protest, standing up, striking, fighting, occupying, sitting down, being a nuisance. And the next step, my friend Ramin reminds me, to stand up to racism protest on United UN Anti-Racism Day this Saturday in this square, 1 o'clock. Bingo.
Support Extinction Rebellion. They're both non-violent organisations that are now being investigated for being terrorist organisations.
No, I'm not.
That
and then I started
is exactly why it is so important you're all here today to kill the bill.
I just want to say, we are here not because we are angry, not because we hate, but because we love. We are socialists, we are anarchists, we are communists, whatever we are here because we are one in our hearts. We are fighting a war, and that war will not be won in Parliament. That will be won by the Labour Party, not be won by the fucking Lib Dems. These guys will not vote for the government. They'll go with ours. You use them or you lose them. Right now we're going to use them every single fucking day of the week.
People asking us on the street why the fuck we're protesting. Why the fuck aren't you protesting? People on our streets to fucking come and support. Right, we need it.
I want to create a world where our daughters will be safe when they walk home from the streets. I want to create a world where we won't be discriminated by the colour of our skin, where the people who are supposed to protect us are the ones who murder us. Our future is for us to decide. It's students, it's us that will make the changes, and they can't stop us.
Hi everyone, I just wanted to say that this week, quite rightly, a lot of the attention has been on the Met Police. But we cannot forget, as so many
London. We see manifest itself in Fallowfield every fucking week. And we have to fight this with everything we have. It is our youngest that are experiencing this just as much as everyone else. And we have to be there for them and fight with them and in solidarity with them always.
Just a quick one first. Whoever the legal observers are that showed up today, thank you very much. I don't know how many people here have had run-ins with the police in and around Manchester. I've only had a few, but they've been absolutely disgusting. I thought I could live in a system where I won't be spoken to like a guilty party before I've not even done anything wrong. I want to live in a system where I don't come home at 10 in the morning to my door kicked in without a warrant and the police have searched my property under false complaints from a grumpy neighbour. And he then accused me of being on drugs when I was just really drunk. So anyway, that's it.
I've grown up in a Tory rule. I have seen them with my own eyes, my own experiences, strip money away from people who need it. I've seen them take money away from schools, I've seen them take money away from poor people, people living on the streets. I've seen them take food out of children's mouths while they give money to businesses that don't exist, protection places that don't exist, their friends' pockets. They have screwed over every single person who isn't their best mate. They have convinced the people that should be fighting against them that they are on their side. Unless you are a billionaire, unless you are a multi-millionaire businessman, they do not care about you. Nobody. Boris Johnson does not care about you. Boris Johnson does not care that we are stood here today protesting his bill. He doesn't care because he's got all the money and all the power that he needs. And that is what's wrong. We need to strip them of any power, any influence they have over us, because at the end of the day, we are the many and we are not the few, and we can beat them.
You know what, I'm gonna keep it really short and really sweet. I've got one thing to say, and it's watch how fucking serious I can annoy you.
There is such a thing as good trouble. This is good trouble. Good trouble needs to happen for change to happen. Okay? This needs to happen. Now, you might come up here, you might not know what to say, but in times of injustice, it doesn't matter what you say as long as you speak up and say something, okay? You get that? A right to protest is a key aspect of a good democracy. This bill takes away that right to protest. That is not a good democracy to me. As it stands, you can get longer prison time for pissing on a fucking statue of a racist than you can for raping a girl. I respect all of you for coming out. We need to educate ourselves. We never stop educating ourselves. I've learned so much in the last year. I'm sure you all have as well. Certain things have been made to my attention that I, as a privileged little white boy, didn't have to think about. But I now know I want my sister to be able to walk home and not have to fear for any guy that's coming in a direction.
So I want to start off by saying that I am fucking angry. Can I get a show of hands for anyone that has ever felt personally let down by the police or the people that are meant to protect you? Pretty much everyone, right? So, I was assaulted, and I did everything that you're told to do. I reported it to the police. It took a year of my life away, finding witnesses and all of that shit. It went all the way to Crown Court, and then I had to stand there while a barrister told me that I had daddy issues, so I was unreliable. And that because I had had a relationship with a man at some point in the past, that it meant that I must have wanted it. Not only did
They gave me no protection afterwards. They simply said to me, if you need anything again, let us know. I was like, no, I fucking won't. And I have seen my assaulter talk at protests like this, and I've had to stand there and be quiet. But you know what? I have felt more empowered at these protests and around other victims than I have with the police in court throughout that entire fucking process. And you know what? The system isn't broken. We didn't have a system that protected us in the first place. So fuck the police and fuck anyone who tries to tell people that they can do whatever they want with our bodies.
I look around and I see all these people, all these faces, and you know what? I can say one thing for certain. I love every single one of you, because you're standing up for what you believe in. No one, and I mean no one, can tell you what to do. The fact that you're here, the fact you're supporting everything, I love every single one of you. No one can silence you, any of you. Fuck the police, fuck Boris Johnson.
Just a quick one. We've had a few specific group of people that have just turned up, so I'm just going to quickly read you through your rights. So, if the police ask you any questions, you can say no comment. You don't have to answer any questions that they give you. You don't have to give any personal details unless they're issuing a fixed penalty notice. You don't have to take a duty solicitor. Use the recommended solicitor that's been given out to you on bus bars from legal observers. Don't take a caution, that is an admission of guilt. Lastly, if they tell you to do basically anything, ask under what power that comes to. Okay? Cool. Cheers, guys.
A minute's silence now for all victims of police brutality. If I can just encourage everybody to hold a light in the air while we remember them. Okay, thank you everybody. Thank you everybody for coming. It's great to see so many people out on the streets fighting for our right, our fundamental right to protest. And we're going to keep up that fight because this isn't over. Next Saturday, we're all going to be here, 1 o'clock, St. Peter's Square, for UN Anti-Racism Day, for the Stand Up to Racism protest. Thank you. We'll see you then.
No matter what we do really in this world, it's terrible, but that's why I'm protesting basically, just to make sure that we have a better world to live in. Even if it wasn't for me, like when I'm old, say it's still really shit, people in generations to come, hopefully it will be better for them.
So how has the protest made you feel today?
emotional, really. It's actually disgusting, the fact that they're trying to pass a law to stop us from having our freedom to speak. It's disgusting that people are basically forced to have to come out and say, like, that one of the people who stood up today said like a really, really deep story, a personal story about themselves that I think a lot of people, and me as well, completely agree with, completely like find like hope in almost. That the fact that we're not alone, the fact that there are other people feeling just as scared and just distraught really as I am, just because of everything that's going on, you know, like we're not alone, we're together, and like with numbers today, you can tell that, you know,